Well, welcome to everybody listening in Internet's MadApes AMA with VPS AI. We're joined here by Nick, who's going to tell us all about this wonderful project. Nick, glad to have you. Why don't you start us off with an introduction about yourself so everybody knows who we're speaking to tonight, and as well any other team members that you want to introduce to us?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks again for having us. We're super excited. It's been a great project and excited to come speak to your guys' community today. So I'm Nick in the VP of products for VPS AI. As I mentioned, thrilled to be here. And I'll quickly introduce the team and then give you a little bit of background on myself. So we have Q, who's our visionary CEO, and he's been steering the ship with his extensive experience in business development within tech and the blockchain. And then Byte, personal friend of mine, been friends for quite a long time, worked together on a lot of projects, both in the crypto space as well as some Fortune 500 companies, built some software together. But he's our CTO, and his expertise in software architecture and engineering really is the backbone of our platform. So doing a lot of technical documentation work with our development team to really nail down our MVP. And then we have Echo, our COO, who ensures that our operations are smooth as our user interface. And certainly, last but certainly not least, is Sphinx. He's our CMO. And marketing strategies have really propelled our visibility within crypto. So he's just done a fantastic job getting visibility on the project. The entire team has been just really working tirelessly to bring awareness to the project, bring awareness to what it is we're about, build some really strong partnerships. And I think you'll see that reflected in not only the chart, but we've done a couple great spaces. Had one yesterday with the team from Kudos, and really have formed some extensive partnerships that I think have helped propel our project forward. And so a little bit about myself. I've been in product management now for about 10 years. For those of you who aren't familiar with what that is, it's really trying to understand and triangulate the needs of the market, the business, and then also sort of our users. And so what I do is work with the designers and developers, as well as kind of our leadership team to try to understand and build a product that is or utility that's really going to answer the needs of the market and solve a specific problem. So it's something I've been in engineering, I guess, for about 16, 17 years now. I transitioned to product management and have been focused on that. It's been a lot of fun. It's what I do for my day job, and then work in a fitness space, and then beyond that, work on some of these projects too. So it's a kind of an overview on the team.
Damn, you are a workaholic, my man. I mean, I'm already busy with crypto. I gotta tell you, I'm working a job as well, but that's also in crypto, and I'm busy as fuck. You working three jobs out here, man. Holy shit.
No, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a good space to be in. It's a good group of people, and I think that's a big thing too, right? Is really matters who you work with, and working with people
Yeah.
you enjoy, I think makes the job, a lot better. Because at the end of the day, these are jobs, right? But getting to come in and work with your friends, getting to work on cool projects, getting to work on stuff that we ideally can make a difference, I think is sort of what fuels me and keeps the energy high.
Okay, awesome. It sounds like you guys got a very, very experienced team going. So I would say let's get into it. Can you introduce us? What is the project about? What are we getting into here?
Uh, yeah, so VPS is really a groundbreaking project designed to democratize the access to decentralized GPU-enabled VPS and containerized nodes. And so just a lot of jargon there. And what I've been really wholly focused on the last couple of weeks as we get prepared for our MVP, it's just consumed a bunch of time, is really understanding the technology and working on bringing the utility to market. And a VPS stands for a virtual private server. And so what that is you can kind of think about that as you're renting your own space in the cloud for you to use compute. Anything from running games to running a web server to if you wanted to spin up a blockchain validator, um, all of those things can run in a VPS. And the beauty of that is that you don't need to have your own infrastructure. And really, what we seek to enable with this technology is you don't need to go through KYC, you don't need to have a credit card. Both barriers to entry for people. There are a lot of people who are unbanked in the world and don't necessarily have access to certain types of like funding, aren't going to go in and sign up for, an AWS account. And what our technology is going to allow them to do is utilize our extensive partner network. We announced some things in our spaces yesterday as far as like some partnerships with Now Payments that allow you to utilize different forms of crypto, anything from a credit card. If you do happen to have one, you can obviously use the VPS token, and you'll be able to use our DApp, connect your wallet, and very easily spin up a virtual private server to essentially use as compute. And so you can rent these, you can bring them up, bring them down, and really what we want to do in kind of our competitive differentiation is that we want to make that ease of use extremely simple. So I've mentioned a couple times, when you take an iPhone out of a box, the thing just works. And that's what we want you to feel about our product too, is that it just works. You don't need a PhD in computer science. You don't need to have a DevOps background or something like that in order to spin up these compute resources. So from an MVP standpoint, we want to get that basic ability out, allow you to configure a basic VPS and get that going. And then further along the line, we're looking at just continuing to make that easier such that you can spin it up with templates, as I mentioned, like a really cool use case. And if you've ever tried to build a blockchain validator, pretty challenging to do so. A lot of configuration steps, and we seek to make things like that much easier. So, again, it's kind of, mission is to really take the cloud and cloud computing tools and make them accessible for everyone. So regardless of technical skill, background, and that's what we're here for.
Awesome. I'm a huge fan personally of these utility-driven projects, and projects that push the space in general forward, bringing new stuff to it. I mean, I've personally not seen something similar. I don't know. We will talk about competitors and stuff later, but I'm very impressed, and I would like to talk about your guys' journey so far. We have around 360 people in this AMA right now. Most of them are not part of your project right now, so to get them up to date, what have they missed? What happened so far? Walk us through it. Since when is this whole thing live? What happened so far? Major milestones, all these kind of things.
Yeah, absolutely. So launched a couple weeks ago. Chart's been very healthy. It's been great to see. We've reached a couple different levels of support on the chart and pay a lot of attention to that. Our journey really began with kind of an idea to really bridge the gap in technology accessibility. Again, part of product management is to identify opportunities in the market. And something that the team and I saw was that it's very complex to typically perform these operations. A lot of other projects, and kind of speaking to the competitors, I think your community is probably familiar in this space, but a lot of people fail to bring their utility to market, or their utility is just really not that good. And that was something we're like, you know what? It seems like there's an opportunity here. People are doing similar things, but they're not great, right? And so we saw an opportunity, launch the project, have a website. We're working on a website redesign to really feature the utility. We've already, essentially released a couple videos as far as, showing and featuring that initial prototype. And the initial prototype is coming out soon, and we'll be doing beta testing on that prototype, really work through some of the usability enhancements, because again, we just want it to just work. And so what we'll be doing over, the next couple weeks is continuing to gear up towards that MVP launch. So from like a milestone standpoint, all the typical things, got our website going, got a very healthy Telegram community. We've been doing a lot of partnerships and marketing. So we had a great spaces the other day with Pete from Kudos. And so we have some infrastructure partners that we've established. And I think that's one of the things that's really, speaking of kind of journey, has gotten us to where we are so far is, you have a strong team's very technical, work well together. And then on top of that, the team has been tireless in bringing up those partnerships. And I know we want to talk about kind of marketing stuff later on, but I think that's really been one of the keys to our success thus far, is getting visibility on the project, and then just continuing to work tirelessly to really bring it to fruition.
Yeah, awesome. And I mean, congrats on that success already. Where are you right now, market cap wise?
I want to say we're around a little over 5.
Damn. All right. Yeah, congrats on that, man. Are you
Yeah,
happy with the
great volume. And the beautiful thing about that is I think the, tokenomics very fair. And so we have a healthy budget to enable or to work with our developers, our designers, ensure that, the utility we release is really top notch.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, very, very impressive. And would you say you're happy with your guys' progress so far?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's always more to do, right? I think when you're driven and kind of type A, you can be hard on yourself and always expect more. But given where we're at and kind of the market as a whole, I think that we've done a really great job. Like I said, we've established some partnerships early on that are really helping propel us. Um, and I think from a design and development standpoint, I mean, it's amazing how productive our engineering team is and how quickly we've gone from kind of that initial concept and just designs to a functioning prototype that we're able to deploy and start beta testing in just a matter of weeks. And I know that crypto space in general moves kind of at warp speed, and it's different than traditional business. But even for crypto, it's just been really awesome to get to work with such a competent team of designers and engineers to really work on our MVP and to see that take shape very quickly.
Yeah, awesome, man. I mean, it's a lot of work. I can imagine, I've been part of big projects as well. I had my own metaverse project that went into millions as well. I worked 18 hours a day for that, 7 days a week. It takes a toll, but it's so much fun as well, seeing the progress, seeing everything going set itself, working with great individuals. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what's to come for you guys.
No, I appreciate
Uh,
that. It's like you said, I mean, working with the team makes it a lot of fun.
For sure, for sure. So I would love to go a bit more into detail if you can already. I mean, you are going towards your first test version or beta version, and I don't know how much more infos you can share, how much more into detail you can go. But if you want to, I would love to give you yeah, the opportunity to go a bit more into detail on everything you can do in the end with it.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, kind of our initial phase and just kind of speaking to, the overall product development process. Uh, Before you have a product in market, you're operating on a lot of hypotheses and sort of assumptions, right? And the sooner we can get something in the hands of users, the sooner we can really start learning from the way in which our users actually use the product. So that's why we've been hard at work, really limiting the MVP scope such that we can get it out to the market as quickly as possible, let people start using it, and capture that feedback and incorporate it back into the product to make it even better. So from an MVP standpoint, as I mentioned, some key functionality that we're looking to enable is that a user can connect their wallet. They'll have a multitude of different crypto in which that they could actually pay for or rent the GPU and spin up the VPS services. So the app that you can access through the website, you can connect your wallet, you can choose how you want to pay for the services, and then from there, basically the ability to configure certain parameters about a VPS. So like common parameters might be like CPU, the OS that you want to run the operating system, the amount of RAM that you need, the amount of storage that you need. And then we're also looking at doing for people who might have like data sensitive or they need to have data housed in certain, like for something like GDPR, they require that you actually house your data in like European servers to be compliant. So we also have the ability to use a pretty cool map visualization that the team whipped up to select and browse geolocation for the compute resources that you want to rent and utilize. And so that's really what we're looking to enable from like an MVP standpoint. And then beyond that, some really cool functionality. So AI is all the buzz, but it's absolutely amazing for what you can do with it. And so, as I mentioned, we want to make it even easier to configure these types of devices. So some of the things we're considering are on the roadmap are kind of community-driven configurations for which people can contribute and figure out ways in which you want to essentially create like templates to easily spin up these different types of resources. So the use case I mentioned earlier is like a node validator, very complex configuration, but if we can extract away some of that complexity, um, then I think we can, again, capture some of the market because people, a lot of times they want to do the thing, but they don't necessarily know how. So enabling or simplifying that process over time, I think is going to be huge for us. And so we don't have like our own data centers. We don't have bare metal servers. We are using infrastructure partners, and we are offering a layer of innovation on top of those infrastructure partners. So as I mentioned, we had that spaces with Kudos. Kudos is one of our premier partners, and we're going to be able to provision and configure resources through that partnership.
All right, awesome. I mean, I'm so looking forward to your first test version. I mean, it sounds pretty promising from what you're telling me here. So yeah, and you said in the next couple of weeks you don't have an exact date yet, yeah?
No, not an exact date. I've been doing product long enough to know that as soon as you give somebody an exact date, one, you're going to be wrong, and two, people will set expectations around that exact date. So I can assure you the team and I are hard at work. We will be releasing the link to or doing some of the beta testing next week with some selected community members. And then we also have some videos out showing the utility in action. So, but yeah, we're like I said, working full steam ahead with the development team and anticipate an MVP in the next few weeks.
Okay, perfect. Then, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, then I would say let's get into the token side of things. You know, what's going on in that direction? What can people expect when trading the token? You know, tokenomics, token distribution, these kind of things.
Yeah, for sure. So it's $ VPS is our token, and we've got a total supply of about 100 million tokens, not about exactly 100 million tokens. And we've really designed the tokenomics to ensure, long-term success and sustainability of the project and for the community. So standard locked LP for 1 year, and then we, I think just after launch, locked an additional 12% of the supply, really underscoring our commitment to the project's future and kind of aligning with our roadmap. So in one of our Medium articles, we published the specific details of kind of the lock allocation. You guys can take a look at that. And then, for the locks that are not longer term, some of the tokens will be gradually released to fund development, marketing, community rewards, and really we're doing that to ensure, a steady growth trajectory for the project. So chart's been healthy, like I said. A lot of green candles, sometimes some red candles, but it's the way it goes. And I think we've reached a really nice price floor, or support level is a better word for it, that is bolstering us. And like I said, very healthy volume funding the project. So I think tokenomics are looking great for us.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, sounds good. Makes sense. I mean, tokenomics kind of became this topic that was so important in the earlier days of cryptos, and I mean, it still is important, but a lot of time it just gets, kind of skipped over somehow. I mean, for utility projects, still very important kind of to touch on that. Okay, but cool. Sounds good to me. I would say let's get a bit into the community side of things. I always love to ask what people can expect from the community. We have around 400 people here listening, and most of them not part of your community. So what can they expect when they join the community? What's happening? Competition, contests, rating? What's the general community vibe like? These kind of things.
Yeah, I'd say the community vibes have been great. Having, I think, like you, been part of, a variety of communities over time, both as an investor and a contributor. It's been always interesting to kind of see the vibe. Back to kind of the AI, I think we've got some, just really neat like Telegram innovations that honestly help out with the community. Is the fact that you can integrate with somebody else's bot that is trained on your specific project, and it can answer questions. I mean, you're seeing this not only in Telegram, but businesses out there, websites and stuff like that. So I think that's really helped answer questions quickly. So as new people join, they're obviously curious, what's the project, who's on the team, what's the status and stuff like that. So I think we've leveraged some technology within the community to support us. And in general, as I mentioned, we're active on Twitter, or X. We host pretty regular spaces to try to keep everybody updated. We've been regularly posting Medium updates, and then also post the AMAs afterwards on YouTube and in our space or in our Telegram community, so that everybody can keep abreast of the developments. So yeah, I'd say, overall great vibes. Um, our marketing team and, is really hard at work getting visibility. So Sphinx has done a fantastic job bringing visibility to the project. And I think that's probably one of the things that's really bolstered the community is, just our mission and kind of some of the technology things that we've done to ensure that people can participate, regardless of which blockchain they're on. We have a lot of partnerships lined up, and the team is extremely well connected. We're continuing to roll out and seek additional partnerships. And I think that, especially in the space, like brand recognition is just so important. And I think that's what we've done a really great job kind of slowly building up over time in kind of a sustainable way. If you track our dev wallet, the beautiful thing is we haven't needed to burn a ton of resources to attract, and build some of the marketing hype because of the team's connections. And the awesome thing about that is it allows us to deploy our capital in a way that can really bolster the community, support the chart, bring growth to the project without spending it on, ineffective marketing channels.
Oh yeah, man, ineffective marketing channels, that's 95%. Man, I've been into marketing for quite some time and it's actually insane of how much shit is out there. But yeah, no, I like that you put an emphasis in general on community, take your time and put effort into making your research with the marketing funds and so on. And yeah, have that connections in the space.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
with
we
that.
even had, the Zaquilla CEO follow us yesterday on X, and so I think we've really started to get some really strong visibility on the project, which, that's half the battle, right? Is just is bringing awareness and kind of rising above all of the projects that aren't really serious. And as you start doing that, I think you can bring a ton of traction. And the team has, like I said, a bunch of relationships there as well as the Zilla ecosystem relaunch. So it's been great.
Awesome to hear, man. Awesome to hear. Perfect. I have just about 3 questions left, and then I would love to end it with a few community questions. So I would like to remind everybody in here, make sure to check out VPS AI. Get over there, leave some love from MadApes in their community. Check it out for yourself. And if you like it, you know what to do. Also think of some good questions. Like always, like I said, gonna do some community questions and a small little giveaway for the ones asking good questions here. And yeah, with that being said, my next question would be about competitors. Would love to hear more about that. What are your thoughts on that? Any similar projects, anybody you want to beat? And also partnerships. I don't know if you have anything left in that direction that you want to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if you kind of think of our space and where we fit in kind of the overall infrastructure value chain, you've got sort of people providing bare metal data centers. And then you have sort of a service layer that is going to connect both people or like kind of a marketplace. So take somebody like a Kudos who is going to bring supply and demand. So if you have unused compute sitting somewhere in a data center or a person and somebody who needs that compute, then they have an opportunity to kind of do that matchmaking. And then you have us that's really going to sit as a layer, I mentioned, as a layer of innovation on top of an infrastructure partner like that. And so obviously it requires hundreds of millions of dollars to build a new data center. That's not where we're trying to compete. Really where we are is we want to um, help people very easily utilize this technology and make it easy to use. So, some of the competitors more in the kind of crypto space, you got OPSEC and nodes. Some real world competitors or people that are not necessarily in kind of the crypto space, you've got Akash and the Render Network. But as I mentioned, I think that the team, our expertise, really uniquely positions us to be exceptionally competitive. And something I've learned too in a lot of years of business is you don't necessarily there's plenty to go around for everybody. And two, you're not going to be the best at every single thing you want to do. You are going to concede some ground, and it matters that you have some features that are just killer and beat, your competitors. And I think that's really what we've identified and are going through the process of releasing with our MVP and beyond.
Okay, perfect. No, I like that take on it. Yeah, I mean, always a very interesting topic, I think, to talk about with competitors, partnerships, and so on. So, yeah, best of luck for beating all of those. You've set high goals, and yeah, talking about goals and marketing, that would also be my both ending questions. So, first, the marketing side of things, you've talked about it already a bit, but if you would sum it up for us, what have you got going on in that direction?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the most important things, right, is we got a bunch of KOLs, and we're really working to onboard a couple tier one KOLs, and a lot of this space is driven by influencers, right? And those thought leaders, people who can bring that visibility into the project. And so, I was probably sound like broke record, but as I mentioned a bunch of times on the call, team's very well connected in the space, and so that helps out a ton. One from just a marketing spend standpoint, but then two, we just have the connections. Um, and then we have a lot of various relationships, as I mentioned, Zilliqua, um, and then active on Telegram, active on X, doing AMAs with wonderful communities like this one to bring awareness to the project, putting out stuff on YouTube, on Medium. So really trying to broaden our reach and kind of leverage our marketing channels effectively. And then also, as I mentioned, we're working on a full website relaunch, really highlighting the utility. From there, we can do some more like traditional marketing, so like SEO and SEM, so search engine optimization marketing, so getting some ads and stuff like that out to just bring traffic to the site. Um, and launching some targeted campaigns to really reach broader audiences.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean, marketing is a very, very specific topic, I think, for each project. It's kind of different. You have a different approach each time you have a new project to market. And yeah, let's see how I mean, so far you've done a great job, so you're definitely on the right path. And yeah, with that being said, I don't know, yeah, the short-term, long-term goals, if you would like to sum it up here at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. So our immediate goals or very short-term goals are, as I mentioned, the website relaunch and beginning our beta testing with that prototype. Slightly beyond that time horizon, we are looking at launching our MVP, and I think that's really the proofs in the pudding, right? Putting something out that works for the community to show our holders that we're serious about building the utility, and most importantly, to bring that trust that the team is here to build and launch and ship a real utility. So we've got the MVP coming out, as I mentioned, in a couple weeks. Um, and then we're going to follow that up with some extensive user testing to really refine the product. And then beyond that, longer term, continue to expand services, try to incorporate some of the, AI-driven utility and capabilities that I mentioned to enhance the product and our offering. And then continue to secure some of those strategic partnerships that will enhance the overall ecosystem. So I think we've done a really nice job, but as you launch a product, you're going to launch for sort of that core audience. And then we're going to get some of that feedback, figure out what types of other features, what types of other services we can offer to continue to enhance it and really look to grow from there.
All right, love it. Then yeah, I'm done with my questions. Before we jump into a few community questions here at the end, anything left from your side?
No, I think that sums it up, man. I really appreciate you guys having us.
No, I appreciate you taking the time and joining us, my man. All right, perfect. Then yeah, let's kick off some community questions, guys. For everybody that wants to ask a question, either raise your hand here in VC, simply send the question to chat.
Hey, buddy. Great day so far. Regarding to the marketplace business model, can you share some details about the fee structure planned for the VPS token? Is there, I mean, will there be some listing fees or transaction fees or something like that for or buying or listing the AI models there?
So do you mean if like you were to create something and contribute it to the community, how would you be compensated, or how do you pay for the services?
Yeah, kind of for the services and the fee structure. Are there any kind of fee
Okay.
structure?
Yes. So we haven't released like the specific fee structure, and some of that we're still in negotiations with partners to kind of understand what our cost is going to be, such that we then price it appropriately for users. Our idea, right, is that you'll be able to pay with the VPS token as well as other cryptocurrencies. And so, as I mentioned, we have a couple partners that are enabling us to do different types of like on-ramps, anything from like a credit card to other tokens to ETH to our token. So we do aim to support a variety of different payment methods in order to use the product.
Amazing job, buddy. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much, man. Best of luck. Thank you, Finn, buddy.
Thank
Yeah,
you for the
appreciate it.
question, bro. All right, next question here coming from Hodo and VC. Go for it, bro.
Hello everyone, hey Finn bro, thank you for the opportunity. Regarding to the revenue sharing part, can you provide more detail on what percentage of revenues will be distributed to stakers and how are those rewards calculated?
So it'll be a percent of the revenue that we generate from users of the platform, and kind of similar to the how much are things going to cost. We're still working on some of the details of that. We'll certainly post those as soon as we have it like available from a community perspective. But it kind of depends on a variety of factors, and we're still working through some of the economics of the different partnerships, different deals, infrastructure providers, and then as we look to release pricing, we look to also update the community on kind of our revenue sharing model. But essentially, it would be you hold the VPS token, you stake those, you can get a portion of the revenue sharing.
Awesome, I totally got it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Finn bro.
Thank you for the question, buddy. Perfect. I'm just looking through chat right now to see if we have some good questions in here, and we have a pretty fitting question, I think, coming here in chat, and is asking about, I mean, in the end, you're gonna offer service, people pay for it. So is there any ideas for any referral programs where people can earn by referring others using your service, and maybe in tokens or stablecoin, anything in that direction?
Nothing specific, but those are great ideas. I mean, there's a lot of times, referral marketing and kind of word of mouth marketing obviously helps lower your customer acquisition costs. And so I think that's something that, our team will look as we want to continue expansion, looking at other channels and ways in which we might acquire new users and new customers. Certainly instituting something like a referral fee could be on the roadmap. We don't have anything planned right now, but it's a perfect suggestion, and we'll write that down.
Awesome. Perfect. Sounds good to me. And then, yeah, I think a good ending question here coming from chat as well is asking about if you plan on maybe further down the road, import some kind or create some kind of NFTs, connect them with a use case, maybe giving the option to get, I don't know, maybe rev share as well or something else, anything in that direction?
No plans on an NFT right now. I think, the token will be, and sort of staking the token will be a great way for us to kind of handle some of the logistics of the revenue sharing and the piece like that. Not necessarily opposed to it. And certainly if there's like a good business case for an NFT or something like that, we can explore it. But nothing on the immediate roadmap, no.
Okay. No, perfect. All right. I mean, I'm very impressed with what you guys have got going on. I wish you all the best of luck for the future. I want to remind everybody in here to check out the project for themselves, get over there. And have you got any closing remarks for us, Nick?
No, just thank you again for having us. I really appreciate, the thoughtful questions. We've done a lot of the AMAs, and I think you're a spectacular host, and, just good to get to chat with you guys in the community, share sort of our journey, what's brought us here. Hopefully you hear some of the passion and excitement in my voice. I think we've got a really special project. Tracking the charts daily, keeping tabs on things. I think project's super strong, and just excited to continue working with the team to deliver on our commitments.
Awesome, man. Then, best of luck for the future here. Wish you all the best, honestly, and nice rest of the day for you. Thank you so much for taking the time and joining us here tonight. Was a pleasure to have you, and all the best for the future once again. Thank you very much, Nick.
Thanks so much, Finn. It's great to chat with everyone. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you. Bye-bye, buddy. Take care. All right, everybody in here, big thank you goes out to you guys as well.